Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do another keto friendly, so no sugar ice cream, and it's chocolate caramel, aka Rolo ice cream. So another keto recipe. I did the Rebel coffee chip, amazing ice cream, really good. Things have labels for everything these days. I'm so fed up with labels for everything. Just make something and enjoy it. That Rebel coffee chip ice cream was exquisite, you know, regardless of what style recipe it is. Excellent. Anyone would love it. So we're going to do it again. We're not going to copy anyone. We're going to make our own, my own. So we're going to do a chocolate ice cream with a caramel swirl. And this is inspired by Rolos because everyone loves Rolos. If you don't, why not? In England, they were really hard. The caramel was solid as a rock. Over here, they're lovely and gooey and squishy. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. First thing we're gonna do is get all our ingredients ready for our ice cream, like that. And what we have here is everything we need to make our keto chocolate ice cream. We have 390 grams of cream. I'm going to put all the cup measurements as well on the screen and in the description, so you don't worry about that. 197 grams of water. In here we have our 36 grams of Inulin and our 2 grams of taro gum. Here we have our 25 grams of cocoa powder, and finally in here 107 grams of allulose. If you are using cups, be careful measuring the allulose. Go too far with it, or you put in 20-30 grams too much and your ice cream will not freeze. It's really strong at affecting the freezing point. So there we go. I just want to say that the cocoa powder is this, which is Dazan True Gold. It is my new favorite cocoa powder for now. It has an incredible taste, very good texture, not affiliated, just recommending it. And I don't know where you can get it over here. I brought it in from the UK, or more importantly, I had my family bring it over to the UK when they came last. It's incredible stuff. I know you can get it in the US. I don't think you can get it in Canada. Hey, use what you got. But this is better. Shameless plug out the way. We're gonna prepare all this in a pan and let it cool down. Quite simply, put all your ingredients in together. Make sure you stir your stabilizer in with your allulose or your sugar, like so. You can add it all in together, it doesn't make any difference. Make a triumphant mess. And in that goes, stir that in. And we're gonna wait for our mixture to come up a little bit in temperature to around 50 centigrade before we add our cocoa powder. Finally, stir in your cocoa powder, making sure all your lumps are dissolved and it's completely homogenized. And bring your ice cream base up to 80 to 85 C and turn the heat off before it gets too hot. And there we go. That makes sure that your stabilizer is completely hydrated, and the ice cream will be a really perfect texture once it's churned. What we're going to do now is pop this in a container and let it cool down in the fridge. With the ice cream base prepared and chilling in the fridge, the last thing we need to do is make our caramel. Now you need to be careful making caramel with sugar substitutes because erythritol will recrystallize almost every time. It's just an inherent part of the scientific or chemical makeup of that sugar substitute. So I do recommend, if you're going to do this, get some allulose. It's perfect for creating sugar-free caramel. If you can't get allulose, you can use monk fruit sugar, coconut sugar. they also work, but obviously coconut sugar isn't a sugar substitute per se. It has quite a few carbs in it. But I'm sure you've got your favorite. I'm positive there are some other brands out there, sugar substitutes. Just choose one that doesn't have erythritol in it and you'll be fine. So let's get all our ingredients prepared right here. And here we have our allulose. So we've got 80 grams worth of allulose, and here we have 45 grams of whipping cream, or heavy whipping cream at room temperature. And we have 28 grams of butter at room temperature, vanilla extract, and high quality salt. Don't use standard table salt for this because it's a very different puppy and just doesn't taste as nice. So with all that, we're gonna get this on the hob and prepare our caramel to cool down at the same time as the ice cream. So for this keto, no sugar caramel, you're gonna start with your allulose straight in the pan, and you are also going to add in your butter at the same time. And we are gonna wait for that to, well, if I turn the hob on, hey. And we're gonna wait for that to melt on its own without touching it or stirring it like I'm doing right now. When your butter and sugar start to dissolve and come together, you're gonna just swirl this around, make sure everything is completely dissolved together, and we're gonna keep an eye on this pretty heartily because we're gonna take it off when it starts to brown. It's starting to brown now, which means within the next minute or two, we're likely going to get to the color that we want. We just want a rich caramel color, but not too dark. Okay, so we're down to the color that we want now, a nice rich brown. We're going to turn the hob off because we're going to add in our room temperature cream. If it spits, please be careful. And we're just going to stir this until it starts to cool down. There we go. We're going to leave this now to completely cool on an unheated part of the hob before we pour it into a container. So with our caramel cooled down enough so that it's no longer bubbling, we're going to add in our vanilla. We don't need a lot here, so we're just going to use a 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. Get that mixed in. Look how gorgeous this caramel looks. And finally, we're just going to add in a small pinch of salt. We're not making salted caramel, we're using the salt to boost the current flavors just like the vanilla is doing. So now that that's ready, we're going to put that in a container and get it in the fridge. With our ice cream base completely chilled down now, we're going to take it out of the fridge and just give it a quick stir. We want to make sure that there's no lumps, there's no surface deformation or anything. We're just going to give this a nice stir to make sure that it's all come together, and then we're going to pour it into our pre-chilled ice cream machine. I leave mine running for 10 minutes prior to doing this. And at the same time, we're going to bring our caramel out the fridge. It's a perfect consistency as it is now. So let's come back in a minute. Once your ice cream is churned to approximately this stage, get all your components ready to load up your tubs. So what you're going to do is do 1 scoop of your ice cream and 1 solid drizzle of your luscious caramel, and keep going until all your containers are filled up, and put them all in the freezer. Our keto chocolate caramel ice cream has been in the freezer for a couple of days. We're going to get some scooped up and talk about the caramel and really quite how good this ice cream turned out. As you can see, The consistency, texture of the ice cream is perfect. The caramel is perfect. This has been in the fridge for 2 days and it is beautiful. Spoons, no problem straight out the fridge whatsoever. Now, I wasn't going to call this Rolo ice cream. I don't know why, because if you don't have Rolos where you're from, little chocolate, these are Rolo minis, little chocolate cylinders with, over here, gooey caramel in. In England, the caramel was quite hard, and in the colder weather, they were like eating bullets. But it's a milk chocolate. This cocoa powder is beautiful. I mean, this, I think, is my new favorite cocoa powder for the moment. It's a milky chocolate profile, so if we're looking at numbers, it's somewhere around the 30-35% cocoa solids kind of range. So if you were to go and buy chocolate with that, I'll leave that there. If you were to go and buy chocolate with that kind of cocoa solid range, that's the taste that you're going to get from this. It works beautifully. It dissolves really easily, which is something that cocoa powder can struggle with. But let's see how good this one actually tastes. The last keto, quick moustache wipe. The last keto ice cream, the coffee chip, the Rebel coffee chip copy, that was amazing. This is even better. My wife and I tried this, just a quick spoonful last night, and we are shocked at how good this actually is for a 0 sugar ice cream. Obviously keto, so it's ultra low carbs. I'll put on the screen what the numbers actually are, but while we're here, and I've got my phone in front of me, we are looking at 9.5 net carbs per tub. So that's, 500 milliliter tub, or 1 pint, which gives you a 4.5 net carbs per serving, per half tub. That's pretty damn good. And to have it taste like this, you know what it's like. You go to the store and you buy a keto ice cream, it's junk mostly. The texture's off, it just has this weird kind of aftertaste to it. It's not pleasant. This, I would pay money that your customers or your family or you would be able to tell that this has 0 sugar and ultra low carbs. It's creamy, it has a nice strong chocolate flavor, but the way that the sugars work in this, or the sugar substitutes work in this, it's not super sweet. It's kind of got the taste of a standard sugar-based ice cream that's somewhere in the 10 to 12% range. So you get all those flavors coming through. You get the flavor of that caramel, which tastes exactly like normal sugar-based caramel, but it just uses allulose. This is rapidly becoming one of my favorite methods of making ice cream. If you like keto ice cream, you like no sugar ice cream, and you want to know how to make it as good as everyone else makes their sugar-based, let me know in the comments. I'll be doing more keto and no sugar ice creams moving forward. I'm a big fan of these. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.